So many organizations recognize they need to become learning organizations. With so much change, so much transformation, so much disruption around the corner, they know that the most effective way of thriving is to equip every employee to be better today than yesterday. The $6 million question is, how do you do that? And that's what we'll be covering in today's mini masterclass. I'll share with you one technique and one tool that you can use with your client organizations. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Sequant, business psychologist and founder of Grow More Leaders, where we equip coaches, consultants and trainers with the tools, the techniques and the training that they need to be able to grow more leaders within their client organizations. So let's come back to how can you facilitate a really compelling workshop that would help employees, managers, leaders create personal development plans that are highly personalized to them, that are meaningful, that have got real traction and aren't just put away in a drawer, hidden away, not to be looked at for the next 12 months. So one of the techniques I'd like to share with you is something that we've been using for the last at least 10-15 years called the hot air balloon technique. And the hot air balloon technique is very creative. It's a creative process where you ask individuals to take a flip chart and to start creating their own version of this hot air balloon. Now, there are a couple of steps that are required before you start asking individuals to create their own version of this hot air balloon. And the first thing is they need to have some data. So they need to have some real clarity about where their strengths are, where and their development needs are. Now you could do that through formal 360-degree feedback, informal 360-degree feedback, the use of some psychometric tools. It's your call. But the point is that individuals need to have some insights and some data to get them really primed up, thinking about where are my strengths and what are some of my development needs. But we're placing the emphasis on the inner game rather than the outer game. And I'll describe that in more detail as we go through this particular activity. But in terms of the hot air balloon, what we do is we ask individuals at the top part of this balloon to capture their 3 signature strengths. We ask individuals, the hot air balloon is being tethered back, and we ask individuals, what are the 2 things that are holding you back right now? So whether it's a skill thing or whether it's a mindset thing, but we really ask individuals to give some real clarity to just the 2 things that are holding them back. So remember, there are 3 signature strengths, the 2 things holding them back, and you'll notice here that there's a red mark here. The red mark denotes the burner, and the burner puts new energy into the balloon to give it lift. So the real question for individuals are, what's the new behavior or the new skill or the new mindset that you need to develop in order to cut the strands holding you back and to help you elevate your personal effectiveness? So we call this activity reaching new heights. So in order to reach new heights, there are 3 dynamics in play. The individual needs to leverage their strengths, the individual needs to cut the 2 things that are holding them back, and the individual needs to put new energy into the balloon to help give them lift. So that's the concept. And then the challenge is, how do you really bring that to life? And we're proposing that once individuals have got some feedback, you pair people up into coaching pairs where one colleague then really coaches the other colleague through a pull style coaching approach, which is just about asking great questions. So talk to me about your strengths. Talk to me about how you will leverage those strengths. Talk to me about what good looks like. Talk to me about the 2 things that are holding you back. What data do you have? What examples can you share with me about where those limitations are holding you back? And what are some alternative strategies? What are some of the new things, the new mindset, the new behavior that you need to start cultivating and developing? And who can coach you, who can mentor you, who can help you? So that's the sort of conversation that's happening in those paired conversations. So you need to set that up in a way that both parties get some real richness from that. And at the end of that process, we ask individuals to then start creating their hot air balloon. So they've had the feedback, they've worked in pairs, they've really been able to sort of go into a level of depth and detail into the three elements, their three strengths, the two things holding them back, and the new energy, the new mindset, the new behaviors. And then we ask individuals to then share that with their peers. So whether it's an intact team or whether it's a working group that you've got together, it's about sharing this. And the process of sharing it, A, helps it bring it to life for the individual, but secondly, individuals can get further coaching from their peers and their colleagues. And that's the whole idea here, is that the purpose of the peers is to stress test the personal development plan. Does it have enough rigor? Does it have enough depth? Does it have enough clarity? And that's what they're trying to do. So their intention is to be helpful and to be supportive, but also to be challenging in the right places. So that in itself is a really compelling and really powerful activity. But remember, the emphasis is all about the inner game of personal leadership. So the whole idea here is that anybody can lead from where they're at, providing they're clear about how they need to keep adapting, learning, and reinventing themselves. And the tool that I'd like to share with you are the strengths cards and the manual that comes with these strengths cards. Because in the manual, individuals are able to work through practical ideas and practical strategies about how they can ensure each strength does not become a liability. So this gives them alternative strategies. So for example, the strength might be my interpersonal skills, or the strength might be my drive and energy. And here are 5 practical things you can be doing to ensure that that strength stays in the sweet zone and prevents going over into the red zone. So that manual in itself and the strengths cards just give another layer of detail to this first part of the activity. So you can actually have 2 parts to helping individuals create a meaningful and compelling personal development plan. So I'm going to wrap up there in terms of this mini masterclass. I hope you've got some practical tips and ideas that you could start leveraging in your own coaching and your own consulting work. If you would like more detail about how you really can get skilled as a facilitator in team building and leadership development, then I have a free workshop. The details will be somewhere in the descriptions below or at the end of this video. It's a 45-minute long workshop, and it just walks you through how to develop your skills in brain-friendly facilitation and start delivering a whole range of powerful leadership experiences for your clients without using PowerPoint presentations. If that's helpful, click on the link below. And equally, if you'd like notification of future videos or mini masterclasses, hit the subscribe button and those notifications will be heading your way. Thank you so much for watching, and just drop me a note and let me know what future workshops you would find really helpful.